Warning, this Big Brother season finale podcast contains spoilers. Good evening and welcome to the season 17 finale of Big Brother and to our podcast. Getting into tonight's live season finale, we will cut right to the chase before we discuss the final events of the summer. With 6 votes from the jury to 3, congratulations, Steve. You are the winner of Big Brother.
I am going to say I'm extremely disappointed.
And?
So Steve and I are going to move into a mansion full of hammocks and beach balls and star in a CBS comedy, buddy comedy now, right? Ian Terry. That is great. That is great. Ian. Bravo. No, I just feel like Vanessa is a victim of Linkin Park's song in the end. Because she tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
No.
Erika?
I think I'm done with Big Brother.
Okay, why?
It's just the last few years, like the last 3 years in particular, have just been trash. And it's kind of gotten incredibly bored with this season ever since like the final 10. But then like the only thing that kept holding on was, Vanessa being in the house, or, how is she going to serve the house up this week? How is she going to, manipulate everybody in the house to do her bidding? And you go from beginning of the season like really hating her to towards the end of the season really, liking her, and then at the end it's just like, well, you're third, cut.
It's like, okay, so yeah. I take it. So Erika, I want to ask you. I take it you weren't happy with tonight's finale and tonight's winner. You didn't think Steve deserved to win this game.
I said a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that worst case scenario for this season would be if Steve wins.
Yep.
And so you're
I
very
actually went on record saying that. Yeah.
You did. I remember it. And I kind of agree. Like, I don't think Steve deserved to win. I actually would have voted for Liz over Steve, personally. Even though I don't think Liz deserved to win either. But I feel like I don't want to say Steve wasn't playing the game, because I feel Liz wasn't either. And I don't even want to say like Liz's moves strategically were strategic moves, because it was just her basically being in a showmance and kind of getting carried. She floated, I think, in this game more than Steve did. But I just don't feel satisfied with Steve.
Me neither.
I don't like Liz because Julia carried the season for them two.
Correct.
When it was the twin twist and when it was the two of them were one, Julia carried it. When that ended and it was the Oz twins, Julia carried both of them.
And I mean, Julia wasn't really winning competitions, but her social game, yeah.
But it was if it wasn't for her, if it would just been no twin twist and Liz was the only one in the house, and her sister was out watching from from home, then Liz wouldn't have lasted anywhere near as long.
No,
she probably would have been gone in like the first few weeks, definitely before jury.
Yeah, I don't want to say like that she was kept in the house because of her twin, because she was almost voted out of the house because she had a twin. But then it was saved when she kind of made the deal to get the Sixth Sense going. Like, the whole plan was, because you have a twin, we're gonna keep you and pull you in. But I feel like she would have been gone before Jackie.
Yeah.
I feel like Jackie contributed more in the house than Liz did. I mean, Liz was semi-entertaining when she was with Austin, but as a solo entity, I wasn't too thrilled with her. But Steve, I don't know, he did play a pretty good game. I just don't think he played it well enough
No,
to have deserved to win.
Steve's game was to not play the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
like
was it was
low.
to be it was to be not noticed. It was to be not thought of, and to have everybody completely forget they even existed.
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly not a bad strategy. It's just not the one that we feel deserve.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like at the very beginning, I said that all these house guests are playing the meta game now. They're
hmm
not necessarily playing Big Brother. They're playing Big Brother. You know, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because
No.
And
they're all
and it's
like, oh, well, this happens this way, so if I think that everybody's outcome is going to be to do this, I'm going to do the opposite of it, so that way they'll go this other way, and yeah,
right.
it's very meta. But
Yeah, in a way, I'm always excited on finale night because we just ended another amazing summer of all the drama we've seen. But I wasn't like thrilled that Steve was going to win, even though I had this gut feeling that he was going to win. Because let me put it to you this way: this season kind of mirrors season 14. The least person we expected to win won,
well, see, I
and
feel
now.
like Ian actually deserved to win. I was happy for Ian when Ian
Yeah.
won.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm happy that Ian won because he played a good game and he was the first youngest house guest to win Big Brother. He was only 22 when he won.
I mean, Ian made himself known. He made himself likable in the house. Like,
He
he
did.
was doing oddball things. Like, Steve was to a degree. And I don't know if that's the fault of Steve or if that's the fault of the editors. Like, I can't be sure on that because, granted, I wasn't
Well,
watching the live feed, so I don't know how um, interactive Steve was in the house, but apparently he was enough because they did say that Steve kind of ninjaed his way in there. He was all of our friends, and we didn't really get to see much of that on the actual show.
I
No,
I don't really I can't really blame the editing because I stopped watching the show like 6 weeks ago.
hmm
I mean, it was like I just got bored of it, you know.
Yeah.
because it
And
wasn't as.
and so I don't half the stuff I don't know how they edited him. I don't know how they showed him on the screen. I just know what he did in the house, and he
Right, from
was
the
kind
feeds
of
and stuff.
yeah, he was kind of a lump.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it seemed from the editing. It didn't seem like he was everybody's best friends, and I was actually surprised when they showed on Sunday on the recap night and stuff like that, like him and Johnny Mac being as buddy buddy as they saw. Like they showed a scene of them like cuddling for a second, and then Steve like got up and like, this is weird, like
Yeah, because he isn't gay.
yeah. So it was just like little things like that. Like we didn't even see from Steve through the whole season. It's what they showed us in the recap. So it almost made it seem like Steve was hiding somewhere through the whole show, and then he just kind of sprung up at the end. That's the way it felt in editing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
that's kind of
So
how it was. He just that one week I remember where he was called out for being hiding,
mhm.
and he was like, "Yes, I know I've been hiding. That's my game plan." If you
Well, it
remember
worked.
that, it was a diary room session. He said that, but
Yeah.
I do want to point out before we go further into detail on tonight's season finale, we also have another prize to uncover. America has been voting all week for their favorite, America's favorite house guest, and the three candidates were Jace, Jason, and James. Let's reveal the vote. Congratulations, James!
Hmm. I'm not totally disappointed in this one. I feel James deserved it. I rather would have seen Johnny Mac win it. That's just me.
Yeah,
But
I
but
don't know if
James,
yeah,
I definitely thought James was entertaining in the house. I liked having him around. I loved his practical jokes. I loved when they did the hide the veto competition thing, and he's just walking around trashing the house just for fun. He's just grabbing handfuls of Skittles and handfuls of cereal and just throwing them over his shoulder. Like that was completely uncalled for. And if I was living in that house and saw him do that, I would smack the shit out of him. But because I was watching at home, that was endless entertainment for me. So yeah, I agree. I agree with him winning that. I personally would have rather seen Johnny Mac.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I was surprised Johnny Mac wasn't even a candidate, and there were two pre-jurors who were barely. They weren't in the house long enough to be that entertaining. I mean, well, Jason was, but I think everybody just loved Jason for his charismatic personality.
I
And you know
hated him.
something?
I hated Jason. Hated him.
But I thought you actually liked Jason, though. I mean,
No,
I was just jealous of Jason. I'm not gonna lie. That's why
no.
I didn't want to see him win because I was jealous of
I
him. He
wanted
was,
Jason out of the house. Wasn't the very first competition the UFO thing when they started getting sucked off?
yeah, and he held on for dear life.
Just the way he was like making commentary during that competition, I wanted him out of the
Yeah.
house.
What did he say
I don't
exactly? Do
know.
you
He was
remember?
just extremely cocky. I did not like him.
Oh, I didn't like that
Yeah.
either. And did you see the look on his face though when they said his name as one of the candidates? He was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised on that.
Yeah, but
Because usually
Jane,
you'll have like the people that have been in the house like toward the end are the ones that are more memorable, whatever.
yeah.
But I definitely see Jason being like a memorable person. It's definitely someone that's gonna stick in my head for a little while. But memorable does not always mean good.
Oh, why do
Right.
you think? Erica? Why would you think? Why do you think it's kind of stupid that two pre-jurors were up for candidates, or no? I want to hear Erica's opinion on the three
No,
candidates.
it's really it's really anybody's game when it comes down to who you vote for. And so a lot of times I wish that you could get somebody who was then out the first week to get it, just because that means they can have money. But
Yeah.
I don't I don't like I didn't like Jason at all, and I was glad when he left.
Hmm.
And I think it's kind of stupid that anyone voted for him.
I mean,
Well,
I
yeah,
Uh,
see the appeal. I see the appeal to some
yeah.
people, especially toward the end, because even we noted as much as we didn't like him after like the second week or whatever, he kind of toned it down.
yeah, he
So
did. He did change a little bit just
yeah,
because he kind of figured out he was hated. But
yeah. So I kind of see where some people would have liked him, but I am one of those people where my impression, especially my first impression, it's really hard to shake. So that's kind
Uh,
of why I stuck to my hatred of Jason. Like, and
uh,
you guys remember episode 1, the first day we did this, I was rooting for Vanessa.
right,
Like,
yeah.
I wanted Vanessa to win, and I going into finale night, even up into the very last question of the third competition, I was like, Vanessa has this in the bag. There wasn't one doubt in my mind that she was gonna be either head of household or sitting. Well, once Steve was pitted against her, I was like, Steve's not gonna take her. I knew that much, but I was like Vanessa, and as soon as I saw Vanessa lose that competition, I was like, she's not going up. But there was still that hope. I was like, come on, Steve, just like pick the dumbest thing you've ever done in your life and pick Vanessa. But I knew Steve is smarter than that and wouldn't have done it. So
He's a super fan, and super fans know how this game works. And Julie Chen warned him this could be a $500,000 decision, but it was worth it. He won.
yeah, I mean, Julie even asked Vanessa. She goes, "Was not taking you like in Steve's best interest?" And Vanessa's like, "Well, I don't know." And then she goes, "Probably not, whatever." And then Julie goes and asks Vanessa. She goes, "Well, if you won, would you have taken Steve?"
No.
So the answer was no. So if Steve chose Vanessa, Vanessa would have won. So of course this was Steve's best move. Like this honestly
well,
was the best move he's made the entire show, this entire season.
it's just like the guy said last season. Sometimes dignity is worth more than money,
Right.
Hmm.
and Steve had no dignity, so he got
Well,
money.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would call it dignity because like Steve was playing the game to play the game, and he and Vanessa kind of had that mutual understanding of do what's best for your game. I mean, they've said that to each other multiple times throughout the season. So, and Vanessa even said, "I don't fault him for it. He did make a good game move for himself." But if he took Vanessa, it would have been like uh, last season.
Right.
If I can't think of his
Oh,
name. if Cody didn't take Derek. If Cody picked the other person, I don't remember who came in third place.
Victoria.
Victoria. If Cody picked Victoria, Cody was going to win.
Right.
Right.
Guaranteed. But because Cody and Derek had such a good relationship, and like they never backstabbed each other, they never mistrusted each other, like he stuck to his word. Vanessa and Steve had a rocky relationship in terms of making deals and agreements this whole season. They were never true to each other this whole season, so I don't fault Steve for that. If him and Vanessa were working together from the very beginning and never went back on each other, then I would fault Steve for his choice. But that wasn't the case.
Right. Getting back to, I know I'm kind of rewinding a little bit here, but did you think, now, as much as we wanted Jason out of the house at one point, I know you guys both wanted that. Do you think his blind side was a stupid move, or do you think that was the right move when he was put on the block?
Well, I'm always like, if you ask my friends, ask people I talk to all the time, one of my most common sayings is whatever works.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
it's whatever it takes to get the job done.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got him out, and that's good.
Me personally, I'd rather be stabbed in the front than stabbed in the back. So I'd
So,
prefer not to be blindsided. I'd prefer you just to tell me to my face, kind of thing.
okay. Well, apparently that's part of the game. Is there's going to be a multiple number of blind sides, as we've seen all season. I mean,
Right.
was just this season was just as dramatic as last, but this season's cast was kind of bland. And kudos to Audrey from getting into Big Brother history at being the first openly transgender. And tonight she actually looked better. I mean, earlier in the season, after when she was toward the end, she looked depressed, but now she's got a tan. Her hair's blonde now. She actually looks good.
Were you guys surprised that she showed up?
Yeah, I thought she wasn't going to show up because I thought she was done, because she had a bad season. But you know something? She showed up.
Well, I don't know. I've seen a few of her tweets. I've seen like one of her live streams, so I don't really know much of her personal decisions. But I think just getting out of the house, having that time to de-stress and detox, and just thinking over it again, maybe even watching the show. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't paint her in a very good light even after she left. They were kind of making fun of her, like
Yeah.
in the comic book, The Blanket. It's just like if I saw that, I'd be even more mad. So, I mean, I don't know what it was. Like maybe it was the fan letters and stuff that she got because she got really emotional, and stuff toward the end there. And maybe it was that, and maybe part of it was she was contracted to come back, and
Yeah.
they could have persuaded her with, well, there's legal consequences if you don't,
Right.
So I don't know how much is of, what category it is, but I want to feel like she genuinely wanted to be there. She did not seem upset because if she was contracted to be there, and they kind of threw that in her face despite her not wanting to be there, she would have just sat there and said nothing.
Right.
So
Right.
I feel like to a degree she wanted to be there, and I think that was a very genuine response that she gave. I don't think it was out of animosity or anything. So I think she's come to terms with it and realized how much of a toll that took her in the house, and realized that people, are going to, I don't want to say make fun of it, but make light of the situation. So, even Big Brother had to deal with the blanket comic and stuff like that. And I'm sure she's had worse things said to her than that. So, the fact that she was able to rise above all of the previous things, this seems like a very minor milestone, in her bumpy road. And I think the positive, like the fans and the letters and things that she's received, probably outweigh all of that.
I agree. Did we cover everything on tonight's finale, or is there more?
What?
Oh, I just pulled up Audrey's Twitter,
Yes.
and it's completely not related to Big Brother. But it's just the top tweet says someone actually urinated in another person's bag on the plane.
Wow.
That's
In
why I
a
just
barf
started
bag.
laughing.
In a barf
Wow.
bag. Oh,
Yeah, that's why I just started laughing. I was like, "What is the hell?"
That is insane. But I mean, with the exception of casting calls being open for next season, uh,
we're doing it.
yeah. So, Erica, I know you said you're done with Big Brother, or there's a strong possibility that you're done. But I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now, if I am on next season,
Or me.
you have to be here to do the show.
You have to.
You have to commentate on my ridiculous antics.
Yeah. That'd probably be the only thing that would get me to watch again. Would be to either
Someone you knew personally.
someone I
Yeah.
knew, or if they decided to do like an all-star season again,
Yeah.
or or something that made it worth watching.
They should make a season called Big Brother Floaters and put Victoria at the head of the helm and everyone else who's floated their way to, I don't know, to the house. It would be the worst season ever.
It would.
Make it
Or floaters versus first evictees. That would be
I
a good.
still want to see a whole season of First Evictees.
Yeah,
that
that
would be that would be something.
It sure would. Because, I mean, some of them could very well have been good players. You know, it's just we didn't get the chance to see them.
And you know one of them's gonna win, so
Right.
yeah.
You know.
as
But
long as
I stand true to what I said. If I get put in the house, I'm not talking.
as long as like we don't as long as we don't have something like they did in the UK, which is stupid.
What was
Uh,
that?
they do Celebrity Big Brother over there,
Yeah.
and
Right.
so they had the what is it, Farrah Abrams from
Mhm.
Teen Mom.
Mhm.
She was on there, and she almost got kicked off the show because of the way she was talking about people, and it's like just don't I would like them to do new things and to do to change up the game a little bit, but don't go that far. Don't go that stupid.
Yeah. But I literally would go in the house and not say a word. I would be a mute through the entire house the whole season. Would not say a word.
It's a good gameplay, Dom.
Yeah, get your little dry erase board and like anytime you want to talk to people, you just show them the board.
Well, see, that way I can go around and make deals with every single person in the house. And then if somebody is like, "Oh, do you have a deal with somebody else?" I'd be like, "I'll write down. I never said that."
That would be the best gameplay. I would definitely love to see that, Dom. My gameplay would be to do what Steve does. Be a friend with everybody, get to know everybody, see who I can get, not play a dirty game, but
Oh, I would do the same thing. I would try to be friends with everybody, even
yeah, me
despite not
too.
talking. But I would still try to win competitions and do things and
Right.
you know. So, but the funny part that I'd also do is though I was being a mute through the whole house, I would still talk in my diary room sessions.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
naturally you have to.
so I mean you don't have to, but if you're really a mute,
Well, yeah, if you're really a mute, hey, you know what you could be you know what you could actually be if for not like for a unitard or anything like that, but it would be so cool. You could be a Big Brother mime.
yeah,
That would be so
Yeah,
cool.
and
I could definitely see Dom as a mime on Big Brother.
and we just got a tweet in by Omi, another person on our podcast network here. She says she famously hates Big Brother. Worst
she does.
show.
She does.
Her
Her
worst
mom
show
watches
ever.
it. So it's
Yeah.
not like she's
And
never seen the show. She's seen it.
she
Her mom,
watches it.
yeah, her
She
mom
hates
watches
it.
it. Yeah.
And she says that she would watch Big Brother if Dom was on it. So there we go.
Absolutely.
But see,
People at work were asking me today, Luke, when are you going to be on Big Brother? I'm like, whenever they pick me. You just got to be aggressive. I got to keep auditioning.
see the two different ways I could play the game. Like one, I would love to be in the house as the mute, like not say anything because that would be very memorable to people. Because people would be like, do you remember that one guy that didn't talk the whole time except for his diary
Yeah.
room sessions? Everybody would remember that. But then if I didn't win, then I'd be like, I probably stood a better chance being me. You know, like, then I would kind of regret for a while, like,
I don't know. You're kind of an asshole.
exactly. Exactly. But I am a lovable asshole.
Oh
So
my
That's the
God.
thing. It's like you can be yourself, but you're kind of an asshole.
I am. I really am. But I am a lovable asshole. So, like, at the same time, I feel like I would stand a better chance as me, but I would be more memorable and more remembered as the guy who didn't talk. So I would probably go out like that.
Right. Exactly.
And then just hope and pray that they gave me, another chance in the house at some point. So then I could play as me.
Absolutely. I think we covered pretty much everything. I mean, unless you guys want to add more before I make our closing statements.
Casting for Big Brother Canada is open now.
I don't live in Canada.
But it's fun to watch their version as well because it mirrors
Yeah.
ours. But anyway,
And
I
it's
want
usually
to.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It is. Well, personally, on behalf of everyone at As Seen on TV, and especially to our Big Brother team, I want to thank you both for another great season of podcasting for the dramatic season of Big Brother, and I enjoyed working with you both. This is kind of a bittersweet moment because I'm not gonna. Well, I know we text Dom, but it's gonna be another year before I actually see Erika on screen again.
If
Although,
Erika decides to come back for next season.
yeah, I hope you do, Erika. I mean, the show won't be the same without you. Your voice is actually relaxing. I like listening to your voice.
Well, another year it might not even be the same voice.
Well, you could be right.
I am,
Things change in a year.
I am starting Friday, so keep that.
Oh, you could do a voice transformation.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to ask you
Anyway,
that when we're offline. When we're off the air, I'll have to ask you how that's actually done and how expensive that is. But anyway, I want to thank you, but I would like to thank Dom Greco and Erika Rain, my fellow Big Brother historians, for another great season of Big Brother, the most famous social experimental game in the nation. So, Dom, I hope you don't mind me asking this tonight, just to kind of give you a little break. Where can the people find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, Phenomedom.
do 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 do.
Erika, phenomenon, because you are phenomenal. And Erika, where can the people find you?
On Twitter and pretty much everywhere else at Erika Rain 7.
You can find me down below at Zupa23 on Twitter. You can also follow up on more of our famous podcasts on As Seen on TV, and be on the lookout for the coming soon fall episodes and shows coming your way. From
Yep.
outside the Big Brother house, we are Dom Greco, Luke Labignera, and Erika Rain. We'll see you next summer,
Maybe from inside the house.
maybe from inside or outside the house. But thank you again for watching.
Good night.